Way back in the 1850s, a scientist named Darwin published a book called On the Origin of Species. The book explained that species are related by common ancestry and that these species can change from one generation to the next. Evolution is defined as the change in the characteristics of a population over time. However, this wasn't a new idea. Rather, many scientists had already come up to this conclusion. Darwin became famous because of how he explained the process, something he termed natural selection. Now, natural selection has two main ideas. First being that a trait or traits can be passed on from parent to offspring, which we coin heritability. And in some, but not all traits, may give a slight advantage in survival and reproduction. If it isn't obvious, the difference between natural selection and evolution is the scale. Natural selection occurs at the individual species level, while evolution occurs throughout an entire population. Natural selection doesn't just eradicate older populations, it can also cause one species to split and diverge into two different species in a process we call speciation. Since speciation has spread apart so many species, this further implies that if we go back up the family tree for a very long time, we might find that all species perhaps come from a single common ancestor. How did Darwin and notably his partner Wallace come up with this explanation? Well, it was on a visit to the Galapagos Islands where he found a species of bird that looked similar but with different size and shaped beaks. He proposed that they were all related by a common ancestor and that the variations had occurred through time, forming what we now see as a new species of the finch birds. Because environmental properties seem to have favored one trait over the other, for example, when there was an abundance of soft seeds, finches with smaller beaks were able to scoop these seeds up easily and eat them. Survivability of these finches were higher than those with larger, deeper beaks. In terms of fitness, these species had a higher ability to reproduce viable offsprings. Basically, fitness means how fit are you able to produce kids. And in terms of adaptation, these traits had increased the fitness for that individual in this environment. And when we say changes in characteristics of population, we really mean it. You won't be seeing an individual finch beak shape just change within its lifetime. Another question you might be asking is, how exactly do these new traits actually come about? How are these traits capable of being passed from one generation to the next? Well, we can explain this one too using the chromosome theory of inheritance.